Hello again, everyone. Welcome back to Aria Melody Live, the show where I've just realized I'm probably going to need 3 monitors if I actually want to read stream chat and monitor my stream and monitor Discord chat and monitor socials. But it's all good. Welcome back, everyone. We're going to be doing more trucking today. You know, the usual, the Monday affair. It's a beautiful Monday, beautiful morning, beautiful morning, beautiful Monday, beautiful start to the week. It is not morning, it is evening. But yeah, we're going to be trucking tonight. It's going to be a good time. And we're going to chat, as is per usual. Yeah, let's get into it. Never get over this intro. One of these days I'm gonna have to revamp it to something fresh, but for now I love what I have. Hello everyone, welcome back. Right, do I have anything to mention today? I don't think anything out of the ordinary. Oh no, you know what? I've blundered. I have to double check this, but I'm pretty sure, I'm like 99% sure I've blundered. Not for the stream, but for the VODs channel. I don't think I'm actually caught up on the uploads. Yeah, oh shit! I'm so sorry. Outer Worlds Part 9 finale went out yesterday, but I don't have anything ready for today or for the rest of the week. So I think after the stream is done, I'm gonna have to switch back over to my Mac so I can actually do those thumbnails, because we're officially behind a little bit. Tell you what, I will, to try and get myself back on track, I'll actually just release whatever the next stream is immediately after I have the thumbnail ready for it. Because this is unacceptable. This cannot stand. We must have more VODs. Anyways, yeah, the VODs channel is still going on though, even with that minor hiccup. But yeah, that's the no updates on that. Except, oh yeah, I guess, yeah, if you want to watch me play Outer Wilds, that is now fully available on the VODs channel. So you at least have something to watch. There's a lot of VODs public right now. How many VODs do we have in total? Let's see, visibility, public. I have lots that are private right now. There's a lot that don't have thumbnails. There's 57 VODs right now. And if we consider that the average VOD length is like 2 hours, and I extend a lot of them because I feel like it on a particular day, how many hours is that? That's like nearly well over 100 hours. It's well over 100 hours of stuff to watch. Good grief. This channel is expensive to archive. Speaking of expensive to archive, yeah, no, literally the VODs are expensive to archive. Not even talking about the YouTube channel, that only costs me time to do. But my goodness, my NAS right now is unhappy. Let me tell you. Let me actually see how much space is on this thing. Let's see, check disk usage. I have 258 gigabytes left on my drive pool. That's my entire NAS. There's 256 gigs left. And for reference, Nier Automata Part 7, which was Saturday's stream, how much space did that take up? 21 gigs. It's not a lot of gigabytes at all. I may have like 2 weeks to figure something out. I'm actually... yeah. And last I checked, hard drives weren't exactly in a good spot right now. Like, let's say I got an 8 terabyte NAS drive. So I could afford it. So here's the thing. For reference, my server is currently 2 4-terabyte drives in a RAID 1 pairing. So if one of the drives dies, I still have time to use the other one. I still have time to replace that one, and I still have, like, parity on the other drive, is what I meant to say. But clearly that's not enough. So the aim is basically, okay, get bigger drives, but that, ignoring the fact that that literally just kicks the problem down the road, I really need to figure out how to get more data. Let's probe this real quick. If I actually check my NAS pool, how much of how much of my NAS is taken up just by stream VODs? Let's have a gander. I'm looking for this and then videos. Pretty much everything from 2025 and 2026 should give us like a nice ballpark. There's a couple recordings that I did that were out of band, like they weren't streams. But let's have a look. Let's see how much that is. That's gonna be... Give me these directories. Ooh. Okay, that's cool. It's only like 789 gigs since I started streaming in May. No biggie. All good. Yeah, it's a bit. And I've just checked. Yes, that is since the start of May. I organize my recordings by like month, and then I'll group them into individual recording sessions basically then. So like each month for a full stream month would have like 12 VODs in it, 12 different directories. And yeah, September was really rough. That was 84 gigabytes. November was also rough with 83. October had 80. December had 79. Oh my god. And 2026 just fucking started. What did I do in February? Oh, Nier Automata VODs. So for reference, everyone, my Euro Truck Simulator streams used to be the most taxing encoding-wise. It would be like an average 12 gigs per stream. Well, I'm now looking at like 20 gigs per stream, thanks to Nier, because it's a very high-fidelity game with a lot of small moving details and whatnot. Voila, I'm fucked. You had very long Truck and Outer Wild streams in September and October, plus Jamborees. Yes, and trucking VODs and Jamborees do tend to take up quite a bit. It's part of the reason I was delighted to do Rich Up Jamboree last month, because that was quite light. Even with the Euro Truck Simulator 2 stuff tacked on, like it only averaged a little under the average Euro Truck stream. Wait. Huh. Part 13 and 14 are only like 5 and 7 gigs respectively. Might want to look into that. Let me have a gander. Okay. That's that many gigs. That's... what the hell? Why is this stream so small? 1 second, I'm gonna have a quick poke. Extremely inefficient doodle. This is true. Very quickly having a poke at this. Oh, did I do like most of the trucking at night or something? No, I don't know. I guess there's just less detail in that stream. Or I streamed really late. I have no earthly idea. Either way, yes, I have a bit of a storage crisis going on. I have emergency options available to me, to be clear. Like, aside from my NAS that has 4 terabytes usable, I also have like an 8 terabytes backup drive on side, but I really do not want to make that the canonical source for stream VODs. I might... no, it's gonna be tricky. I'm gonna need to buy new drives. Ah, fuck. Due to budget cuts, 30% of the screen will now be covered by a green square for encoding efficiency. Don't tempt me. Here's the thing. I would love to encode an AV1 because I'm sure I'd still be able to get like about the same quality with, you know, lower bit rates. That's the whole fucking reason that AV1 exists, right? And being an open video standard, not, you know, gagged by MPEG-LA or whatever. But unfortunately, I don't have dedicated AV1 encoding hardware, and I don't know, is it cheaper to buy drives to stave off the madness, or buy a new graphics card to stave off the madness? Both would help, but both would decimate my bank accounts. I'm fucked either way. Yeah, that's gonna be fun. Mogging with my RX 9070 XT. You're welcome. If I had more storage, I'd offer you with a bit of storage here, but I can't cope with hundreds of gigs of backup. Yeah. My Nextcloud instance already eats as much data as your whole streaming archive since May. Buying a graphics card in this economy? Listen, one 8TB drive would still run me like €250. And I need to buy 2 for parity. And ideally I would like 4, so I could do like a striped mirror or something. Is that RAID 5, I think? I don't remember. Anyways, I would say let's stop wasting time, but every moment I spend on this screen is like less gigabytes taken up on my drive, so I actually have a motivation to not get on with it. Alright. We are going to move on though, because we have trucking to do, and that's very important. Fun fact, the RDoodle drinking the water on top of the computer is using 96% of our CPU. It is very inefficient. Yeah, we actually do like reload the image every frame. Unfortunately, we don't have a way to circumvent this. We don't have the technology. It would never work. We do just have to put up with it. What if RDoodle was drinking tea using the CPU as a heater to keep it warm? That's a method, honestly. Oh, that's what I should do. I should keep my really hot drinks on top of my PC and then play a game to keep it warm. Surely putting really hot drinks on top of my PC is a very good idea. Nothing could go wrong with this arrangement. All right. Let's get our shebangles going. Where's my truck? Give me a truck, please. Don't just give me tiny, like, whatever pixels. Give me game. Brilliant idea. What could possibly go wrong? Surely nothing. Nothing of note. Oh, game is starting. Hold on. There we go. Bada bing. Fantastic. Truck, 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 truck. Health warning? Don't care, don't care, don't care. Driving Academy? Oh, right. They have new stuff in Driving Academy. No, I just want to do the unread. Get me out of here. I don't want to learn how to truck. We free balling it. Level 20. Love to see it. Absolutely nothing in the history of ever has gone wrong with liquids and technology mixing. Of course not. Wow, I'm so delighted to see that face again. Right, I have 83 grand, and I think I was working up towards getting a new garage, but that's going to cost me a lot of money. Health warning, how about unhealth information? The fucking, like, unhealth warning, unhealth information just says get hit by a bus and nothing else. Okay, my wheel tweaked out there for a minute, but we're fine. I need to move myself because I'm in the way of the map slightly. It says get hit by a truck. I'd like it if it just said get hit by a bus. I can't remember. Is my truck damaged? Did I fix that? Not configurator, no. Service. I had damaged the truck, but we are okay again. It's just noisier than I remember. Excuse me? The fuck? I thought it was acting weird. What's going on here? Whoa. Hello? Okay. I guess we're good now. Yeah, I'm gonna say that's due to, like, worn out parts from the crashing that I did before. Suboptimal. Yes, I remember. So we traveled all the way out here to look at a garage we could not afford. That was exciting. So I suppose we have to actually take on a job then, don't we? Let's go get to work. Unhealth information loading tip. Crashing your truck has a 40% chance of triggering fast travel to the hospital. It'd be so good if that, like, time skipped as well. So, like, you still had to do all of your, like, loan payments or whatever while you're in the hospital bed. It's very realistic. Right. I don't know what that means. Is that an engine warning? That looks like it might be an engine warning. I'm a little concerned about... Oh, air pressure too low. Well, how do I fix that? Hold on, wait, how do I fix that? I hear the hospital loading tip varies in some regions, specifically in North America. Okay, let's do cargo market. Something nearby me, please. 14 grand. 23 grand. It's a long haul. Yeah. Ooh, but this has volatile stuff in it. We're probably gonna go for this, actually. All right. For anyone out of the loop, by the way, I did mention this on Saturday's stream, but I have started learning Vulkan. For those of you who aren't aware, Vulkan is one of the couple graphics APIs available. It's essentially the way you communicate with your graphics card to make stuff appear on screen. For example, this game right here that I'm driving in very responsibly, oh god, is also rendered in a graphics API. I don't know exactly, or with a graphics API. I don't know exactly which one. I'm presuming possibly DirectX, because this game is originally Windows only. And but it does have official Linux builds, so maybe there's Vulkan or OpenGL backend in there. But yes, it is one of the ways to do computer graphics, and it is the way I wish to learn computer graphics. I have played around with OpenGL before. The main I guess, and it's called Metal. Yeah. So a quick breakdown of just all the graphics APIs that actually have widespread support. There are probably others, but these are the ones that people actually use for the most part. DirectX is what you're using if you're on Windows, most likely. And Metal is the one you're likely using if you're on macOS. Whoops. And if it's OpenGL or Vulkan, those are actually cross-platform. They're generally well supported by other vendors. Apple kind of deprecated OpenGL a while back, tragically, so it's kind of stuck on version 4.1. We're on 4.6 now. But Vulkan is still fairly widely supported. Most devices do support it very, very well. macOS does not, but you can get it working really well through a compatibility layer, and you basically wouldn't even notice. I've personally not noticed anything running through Molten VK as being a problem. ETS has the choice of either DirectX or OpenGL from what I can tell. Ah, yeah, so it's probably OpenGL then. The game's old enough, like I think it does predate Vulkan's stable release, so unless they felt like rewriting their rendering backend, which a lot of game studios have done, and it's actually panned out quite well for them. But, I don't know, they might not have been interested, and that's entirely their deal, whether they feel like it or not. But yes, I want to learn Vulkan because I would like to learn computer graphics, and I've been a fan of the idea, at least, of writing my own game engine, even if just for learning and not actually making like a production game, for quite some time. And it's very difficult to make a game engine if you can't put stuff on screen. It's a very critical part. So I've been learning that lately. and I've been doing them publicly on stream, but they're kind of like out-of-band stream sessions, not on Twitch, but on Streamplace. That would be stream.place/remelody.space if you want to follow me on there. Streamplace is basically Twitch, but it is very nicely integrated with the @Proto ecosystem, which is what the likes of Blue Sky run on. So if you follow me on Blue Sky, you technically, I think, also follow me on Streamplace. All you need to do is get set up on there, and if you got like mobile app or whatever, you can even get notifications when I go live, which is really cool. I do now post about that as well on the Discord. I've made a dedicated role for that now, actually. I was pinging the RMLD live role originally, but there is now a dedicated Ari is Learning role. That's kind of the official, unofficial name that I've selected for these streams, because that's what it's about. It's not necessarily about me making anything in particular. It's usually just I'm learning a thing that I find cool. Doodle, stop bouncing when you speak. Yep, Doodle has crashed. This has been happening kind of recurring during truck streams, and I think it's because I'm running out of GPU capacity here. I don't really know. Okay, that was weird. Let's try turn some settings down. Maybe this will help. We'll do medium, shadow quality. As much as I love the nice shadows, we're just going to go for low. I gotta have interior shadows. It looks so good. Yeah, you can go with low SSAO. That's fine. We'll go medium. Yeah. Okay. Okay, medium is still okay. Grass density. I really like the lush grass, but we can go low for now, I guess. And weather quality. We'll go... medium is fine. I don't really need the... yeah, pedestrians are fine as well. Okay. Hopefully Doodle doesn't crash again. I believe I was at a stop? Oh, yeah, I was doing this. I'm just going to spam X as I get closer to it. Like this. There we go. But yeah, so I've been doing learning streams because I like for those of you who don't know my learning process, because I've heard some people say a bunch, it's like, oh, Ari, you know how to do like so many things, what the fuck, how? And I'm like, I literally fuck around and find out. That's how it works. I take an interest in something, I go, I want to learn that, and then I go and learn it. And one of the beauties of being really into the tech space in particular is most of the shit that you want to learn, you literally can't just go learn. Your biggest hurdle is going to be like poorly written documentation sometimes, if that. Usually, like, things are really accessible. Like, you can write Vulkan on a cheap-ass laptop from the early 2010s, and it will work. It will work fine. Vulkan should hopefully be supported on the computer you're using. Graphics drivers tend to be pretty decent with that. But yeah, Vulkan is comparable to OpenGL. They're maintained by the same group, as I understand it, the Kronos group. They're very cool folks, and they've made some very cool stuff. Like, OpenGL is, for example, what powers Minecraft. So that's one of the, like, Minecraft's rendering. It's kind of famous for that. A lot of people making their own Minecraft clones will often just use OpenGL in that case. But Vulkan is the next generation open graphics API. And it is a lot more verbose to get started with. You have to write a lot of code to get a single triangle on screen. That is the smallest primitive shape that you can draw with a graphics card. I guess aside from a line, you have to draw a triangle, and then you use those triangles to build all sorts of other shapes. For example, what is a square but two triangles? what is literally any other shape but a whole bunch of, triangles. Anyways, yeah, GPUs are really good at drawing triangles. That becomes like the base primitive everything is built out of. And just to get one of them on screen, I have done 2 streams so far, totaling at around 10 hours, and I still do not have a triangle on screen. And that may sound crazy. It's like, geez, Ari, you spent 10 hours. But here's the thing. I'm also like chatting a whole bunch, and I'm like reading the documentation very carefully to make sure I understand all of the things that I'm writing, because I'm here to learn. I'm not just here to get a triangle on screen. I've technically already done that part. I brought in some example code and I was able to get it done that way, but I didn't understand what I was doing. So those streams are basically a dedicated place for me to do that. I'll just sit down, I'll read, and I can kind of almost rubber duck debug with the chat. And I find it can be really helpful in learning a thing if I'm able to explain it to someone else. So, reading that documentation, then just saying it again, but in my own words, that's like really powerful for learning. It really accelerates me a lot. So yeah, those streams have been fun so far. So even if you're not like a super techie person, but you just want to like hear me ramble while doing some nerd shit for a couple hours, definitely join the Discord or follow me on Blue Sky or Fetty. I post on both, on all 3, sorry. You'll be notified on Discord though. But yeah, check those channels and I will notify specifically on Discord if you have the role for it. You do need the Aria's Learning role in order to do that. And if you've already joined the server and you don't yet have the role, you can go to like channels and roles at the very top of the channels list and just get the role retroactively. So that's cool. But yeah, do check those if you want to see some of that. If you've been curious about making your own Vulkan app as well, delightful. I would be happy to share my learning so far, as I would consider myself a Vulkan novice. I'm not necessarily new to computer graphics. I've certainly ingested a lot of theory in the area, but when it comes to putting it into practice, I am quite new in that area. I've only really played around with OpenGL before, which has a much simpler API, but isn't nearly as configurable and capable as Vulkan is. Vulkan could do like fucking anything. It really like unlocks the power of your graphics card, whereas OpenGL uses what's called like a fixed function pipeline, which is kind of what it says in the tin. It's fixed function. You can't necessarily do your own things with it unless it's something that OpenGL already carves out for you. Oh, it's time to slow down, ba ba ba. It's time to slow down, ba ba ba. Abrupt audio cut off. Simulators overheating and dying in a bath. Huge news. I love Vulkan for the simple reason it shouts at you if you make a mistake. So Vulkan doesn't, but the Vulkan validation layer does, which is actually something that gives it a huge leg up over OpenGL, which is really, really cool. I was actually, after the last stream that I did, I pulled the code over to my Mac just to make sure that it works. And I think it actually failed because I hadn't actually even done a build on my PC yet when I ended off stream. I left it kind of half complete. But the validation there did warn me, hey, you've created these shader modules, but you never freed them. You never destroyed them properly. I'm like, oh yeah, so I didn't. So I go and I add some code to free them. And then I'm told, hey, you can't just free shader modules. You have to instead destroy the pipeline that they're created in. And then that destroys the modules for you. I'm like, okay. And literally just by reading those error messages and then implementing around that to address each error at a time, I have a fully compliant Vulkan app. And it's great. It's not finished yet, but it's fully compliant. There's no complaints from the validation layer, which I'm delighted by. Also love how weird Vulkan support is. My old work laptop, which if I recall correctly had an Intel Core 2 Duo, somehow had modern Vulkan support because Linux. See, that's another beautiful thing. The Vulkan drivers, as I understand it, it's just your GPU driver, but it's So think of it this way. So if it's like an integrated, like Intel integrated graphics or something, latest Intel drivers will probably have you covered, because when it comes to OpenGL, it's more the graphics card supports OpenGL and provides certain functionality to that. Whereas with Vulkan, it's more like you're talking directly to the hardware. So yeah, so long as your driver gives the software support, the hardware is just open to you. Your hardware could have never heard of Vulkan in its entire fucking life, but your driver can speak Vulkan, and because your driver is what directly interfaces with the graphics card and runs those commands. Like, keep in mind, the kind of commands you're running are nothing special to the hardware. These are things that already might have been available with OpenGL before. It's just that OpenGL abstracts a lot of that from you, so you don't necessarily see the actual graphics commands that get passed through, but Vulkan like makes you run those. Like, you have to do that heavy lifting yourself. And I frankly love that. I love, because it's such a great basis to learn from. Even if you decide Vulkan is completely overkill for your app, you don't need to squeeze out all that performance or all that configurability. Whoa, shit. Nice one. Thanks. Appreciate it. Anyways, I'm just gonna go around now, asshole. Fucking moving on. Have to fix my truck again. Can I get one delivery where I don't have to do that, please? Anyways. Yeah, so even if you decide you don't need the power that Vulkan gives you, you'll still understand so much more if you go back to OpenGL, and frankly, from the things that I've learned so far, I don't think you would even want to. Because if you just want to do what OpenGL already gives you, you're probably okay. But the second you want to go outside of it, you have to do these weird kind of uncomfortable hacks for things. I actually watched an interesting talk from an id Software developer who had ported Doom 3, I think, from OpenGL to Vulkan. They were an OpenGL house for ages. They really liked the API, but then they switched over to Vulkan, and they got like I think it was like solid enough performance boost. Like, it was nothing crazy. They weren't exactly benchmarking it, but it like was so much more modern under the hood, and it was a great basis for learning how they can integrate that into their like tool chain and whatever. But the lines of code, there are actually slightly more lines of code in their OpenGL implementation than their Vulkan one. Apparently they did leave out some like debug tooling, which they probably shouldn't have, but the fact that it's even comparable is like really fucking cool. It's so sick. Yeah. Looking forward to Aridoodle, the video game, the 3D platform where you play as Aridoodle collecting doodles like they're power stars. It's funny, there is technically kind of an Aridoodle video game. I don't think I've shown it on stream though. It's more just like a little pet project I've been goofing off with, but it's nothing serious at this time, so I haven't really said much about it. It'd be cool if that happened though. I consider the validation layers to be just be a Vulkan thing. Like, it's technically not a part of Vulkan. Yeah, it's a Vulkan SDK specifically, but it's like essential to developing, so I view it as a part of Vulkan. Yeah, it's a part of the Vulkan development experience. Yeah, I'll give you that. If you're writing Vulkan without the Vulkan SDK, you're gonna have a really hard time. Case in point, I did that and it sucked. Now that I have the Vulkan SDK, I'm having a much better time writing Vulkan. Especially because I get the nice validation layers. Sorry, Ari, it's a rite of passage for every delivery to have something go wrong. Ain't that the truth? I feel like the Vulkan pipeline was really badly documented for graphic development beginners. It may have changed though. It really was paste this and paste that and here you go. And here I was not, because my setup was slightly different from what the documentation expected. Yeah, so they have radically redone the graphics pipeline documentation since Vulkan 1.3, because that introduced dynamic rendering, where you do still have to build a decent amount of the pipeline, but you don't have to do things like building frame buffers and shit like that during that process. You can actually do it like at draw time, which does simplify the process quite a bit for the graphics pipeline stage. Like, I'm nearly done the graphics pipeline, already, and I haven't spent that much time on it. But yeah, it's still a lot of work, don't get me wrong, but the cool thing about it is, unless you are doing something really custom and like really heavy, which in that case you probably have more than one developer anyways, I think writing with Vulkan is still very much achievable as an indie. Like, keep in mind, I've spent roughly the equivalent of a little over 1 full working day working on my Vulkan implementation. Once I'm done and I have a triangle on screen, all I have to do is write a couple more abstractions and I have the full power to render basically any mesh that I want to the screen with any textures that I want, in any order that I want, and I can apply whatever shaders that I want. Like, once I get the boilerplate out of the way... Okay. Thank you. Once I have the boilerplate out the way, my like capacity, my capabilities to do cool shit increases dramatically, and it's really, really cool. And that's a big thing that I've been picking up from like everyone I've seen talking about Vulkan. It is a lot of upfront work, especially if you're new. But once you've done it and you've like learned it, if you've properly learned what's going on and why you're doing it, it makes so much sense. And it's really rewarding to have. And because a lot of that work is actually done ahead of time, that's a thing that Vulkan is slightly biased on. It's slightly opinionated on. As much as possible should be pre-computed at runtime, like from the moment that the application starts, not every single frame. And what that leads to is that you basically build your pipelines and stuff once. Your graphics driver has some time to optimize a lot of the stuff that you're doing, and then you could just draw some frames. It's like really, really solid then, the moment you've gotten all of that boilerplate done. And you're just like, you're good to go. You're off to the races. So yeah, I'm very excited with the Vulkan renderer that I'm going to be building. And another thing I'm also very excited for... Oh, for fuck's sake, dinked my trailer. Another thing I'm also very excited for, once I'm done my C implementation, as much as I love C, I do not love its error handling in particular. And of course you know, type safety... Ooh, actually no, type safety can get a little bit fucked up when you use void pointers, to be fair. But memory management and stuff like that can be a little bit of a hassle. It's a rewarding thing to get done properly, but it's still kind of freaky, right? So one thing I really want to do is I want to rewrite it in Rust. Because the idea is, once I've written it in C, I really understand down to the low level what's going on, at least as low level as I am ever going to need to go for my purposes, right? And then I can migrate over to Rust, where I then, you know, I understand everything. I'm still at a low level. It's still like a statically compiled language and everything. But I also get just like a lot of really nice quality of life and like developer ergonomics, and I'm really excited for that part. So I want to rewrite the renderer in in Rust. And a cool thing is as well, I think I tried to show it in, I think, the first stream that I did learning Vulkan, but unfortunately I wasn't able to get it to run properly, sadly. It's a fairly old project. But one of the things I was really, really proud of was the input system that I made for that. I had written such a beautiful abstraction around raw SDL2 inputs. It was basically, if you've used Godot, I basically built Godot's input system in Rust. Like, it was so nice to use. It was amazing. So I would be very excited to rewrite in Rust and specifically port over that input system, tweak it a little bit so it works better with SDL3, and then we're just like, we're good to go. Yeah, I'm very, very excited for that part. Also, to make the bit I meowed about the funny work laptop even funnier. I'm confused. Sorry. Maybe it's because I'm driving, but I didn't catch that properly. Vulkan does front load a lot of stuff from what I hear, but full implementations aren't so many more lines of code. Yeah, they're very comparable to OpenGL, because in OpenGL, you have to do a whole bunch of weird state changes during the render pass, which makes the render pass take longer, and still just inflates your lines of code anyways. Vulkan is like, okay, you do all of this before you draw your triangle, and then drawing your triangle is piss easy. And then drawing millions of triangles is also piss easy. Like, it's really cool. I really, really like the approach that they've taken, and the more I've learned about it, the more I have learned to love it. I do adore Vulkan, and I am very much thinking this will be like the graphics API that I just use forever. I'll probably use like WebGPU at some points if I want to experiment with web stuff, but for most purposes for me, Vulkan is going to be really, really solid and do like everything that I want. And let's be real, if I'm doing a project in Godot and not my own game engine, that also uses Vulkan under the hood. So, lol. I think the CPU... Oh, Vulkan is 8 years younger than the CPU. I think the CPU can legally drink in public on its own in the UK now. One thing I will say about Vulkan, the guide looks a lot different than when I tried it. Oh, yeah. No, So when I first tried to learn Vulkan, it was years ago, a couple years ago, and I specifically remember I was like writing Vulkan code in a college lecture in the back of the class in first year, and I got my triangle. Oh, wait, no, I didn't even get my triangle on screen because I was learning Vulkan. I wasn't learning SDL, so I had no window. So my Vulkan tutorial was early like, let's get a texture buffer, draw to it, and then output the raw pixels to a BMP because we also didn't want to deal with loading in like image encoding dependencies. Also, no, at this time I don't think I would have had the know-how to translate C code to Rust code. So I was probably using like a specifically Rust-centric guide at the time. But like nowadays, fuck, I do so much better. Another funny thing, some of y'all probably saw my posting on this. There's been some discourse I've been seeing about the WebP image formats. Sure, whatever, close enough. Nowhere near butter, but they're not going to complain. Good work. Did I take damage? Oh, shit, I did take damage. Oh, that was fragile cargo, wasn't it? Probably was. That's unfortunate. Yeah, I tell you what, bring me back to Germany, whatever. When I was learning it, I was writing very similar code to what you made because I either didn't know about C++ bindings or it didn't exist. Yeah. I need to be going forward, please. But yeah. So, like, I'm so much more knowledgeable with this shit nowadays. Like, I can easily throw together an SDL3 window almost without documentation at this point. Like, there's very few lines of code involved in getting an SDL, like, context in a window going. It's pretty easy in the grand scheme of things. Vulkan is a lot heavier, but as I'm learning, there is a lot that is very formulaic. And while there aren't necessarily like preset sane defaults in Vulkan, a lot of the API is pretty self-explanatory, and so long as you familiarize yourself with what the things you're doing mean in terms of what you're trying to render, you can pretty easily define your own like sane defaults and even just outright ignore certain things. Like, my graphics pipeline is made a little bit longer by the fact that I give a shit about multi-sampling, for example. In fact, I think I actually only wrote a little bit of multi-sampling code and then commented it out because the guide wasn't actually using it yet. They were specifically going to cover it later. But yeah, eventually I'm going to get pretty familiar with that, and then we'll be good. Oh yes, I was talking about WebP. Yes, there was WebP discourse on the timeline. I'll quickly get through this. WebP, for those of you who don't know, somehow is in image formats. You have probably seen it if you've downloaded an image off the internet, because a lot of websites, regardless of what format you upload as, will transcode the image. They'll convert it to WebP format because it achieves very, very good quality with really, really small file sizes compared to a lot of other formats. So it's become like the image format for the web. There's a reason it's called WebP. But there's been a lot of discourse around it because of weird compatibility issues. Funnily enough, primarily from Windows users. I don't really hear Mac users or Linux users complaining about it. I certainly am not complaining about it. I've never had a compatibility issue with WebP on Linux, but I have on Windows. So I kind of see where the discourse comes from, because I used to share it, but then I learned what was really going on. And it was just that Microsoft just doesn't support it very well, or even when they do, it seems to be through an extension you have to install off the fucking Windows Store for some reason, which sucks. So a lot of people will see WebP and go like, oh, it's this file that I can't fucking use, that I'm stuck to deal with because this stupid website wants to shove Google's image format down our throats. Oh yeah, it's Google developed, by the way. But it's an open format, which ordinarily would have everyone I know pissing and shitting and coming over it, but because of weird compatibility, a lot of people hate it. But I looked into it a bit more, and I'm like, this format's really solid. And then I looked at it a little bit more, and I'm like, hey, the API for it is really dirt simple. And then I looked a bit deeper into it, and I'm like, oh, I'm writing a Vulkan renderer. I'm eventually going to need to load textures into my game, and the WebP API basically requires like 2 or 3 lines of code. Actually, no, it's a little bit, like 5 to 10 lines of code with error checking, I guess, in order to get a WebP texture loaded into memory, and then I can just upload it to Vulkan in a texture buffer. So like, so my idea, and I'm going to be bringing this up on Streamplace as well for anyone who's only catching my development streams and not my gaming ones. What I'm planning on doing is only supporting WebP as my game texture format. Now, keep in mind, I did say that it's like, you know, it does compression, right? But it maintains similar quality PNG. The thing is, WebP supports lossless. I did not know this until like yesterday, day before. I had no fucking idea that WebP supported lossless. I thought it was just a lossy format all the way through. No. You can totally just get a lossless compressed image in WebP. WebP has lossless. Yeah, like nobody knows this, because here's the thing, nobody's really doing it because compression is fine usually for internet images. But if you're storing game textures and you really want to make sure that it's like the highest quality texture, like, yeah, go lossless. So basically, yeah, I'm going to store all of my, like, whatever sample game that I make, and I'll probably end up open sourcing it when I'm done, because I will be migrating to Rust after the fact. That is going to only support WebP textures. I have been asked about maybe supporting AVIF, and for those of you who don't know, I'm less versed with AVIF because I've seen it in fewer places, but it's basically the AV1 image. It's AV image format, I guess. It uses AV1 under the hood, or at least like an image-specific type of encoding from AV1. But it's really good, from what I have heard, and it would be cool to support AVIF as well. So basically, yeah, the engine that only supports open image standards, and also they're like super based and epic image standards because or image formats because they're open and royalty free. Like that's really fucking cool. I like that idea a lot. We're using Vulkan, the open cross-platform graphics API. We're using WebP, the open cross-platform image formats, and we're going to be using SDL, the open cross-platform media library, I guess. Simple Direct Media Layer, I think, is what the full name is. Ooh, one of our drivers leveled up and pulled in like $4,000. Delightful. But yeah, an engine built entirely off open standards would be so cool. And then doing it in Rust as well, so it's like we can craft like such a beautiful API around it. I was talking with my darling wife Julia about this just last night, and we were up until stupid hour gushing over a game idea that it was originally 2 separate game ideas that we've had on our own from years back, but we basically voiced those ideas to each other for the first time, and it turns out we have extremely similar wants for our dream game. So I'm not going to say that much more about that because we haven't even started writing for it yet. We literally just were thinking about it last night, but oh my god, the excitement that was felt during that was so delightful. That was a magic moment right there. Like that's the kind of moments where your partner like actually starts finishing your sentences. It's so sweet. I love her dearly. I probably won't actually try learning Vulkan again though. SDL's GPU API seems to be a pretty good abstraction over it, and we'll also get WebGPU support sometime eventually. Yeah, it depends on the game you're making. Like, in my case, I was originally just using SDL in a project that I had worked on in the past. Right, yeah, I have 2 separate things that I've done in Rust. One of them was specifically just learning SDL, and one of them was just learning Vulkan. They never combined at the time, but I hit a really bad limitation with SDL, and it's that images, like using SDL image to draw stuff on screen and whatever, they don't do floating point positions. It's fixed points, and well, sorry, it's specifically like integer, not just fixed point. It's integer, which is really bad for me. Because what I was wanting to do, like, it was pixel art, but I wanted it to like have a dynamic zoom in and out. I wanted to scale nicely across all displays. And unfortunately, SDL just couldn't do that for me. It would always lock to pixels, and that like destroyed it for me. I was like, okay, no, this looks terrible. It's like, it's flickering in between tiles when I zoom in and out. Like, this is horrible. So that's the point when I realized, yes, okay, I can't be lazy about this. I need to learn a graphics API. I need to actually use one to make this game, whatever it ends up being. So yeah, that's the vibe that I have. But if what you're building doesn't require floating point texture placement, you're probably fine using SDL image, and honestly, more fucking power to you. That's solid. I make fun of WebP as a joke. I don't actually hate it. Yeah, I hate standard JPEGs though. JPEG XL is so fire. JPEG is like, it had its place. It is now past its prime. That's my general thought. I use JPEG specifically when I want to get like extremely lossy compression for the bit. Like, that's it. I don't actually use it as a serious image format. JPEG XL I would consider, but again, software support is a bit of an issue. Only supporting WebP is so funny, to be honest. Yeah, okay. So on one hand, it was like, oh, it'd be so cool to support this like cool open image format, but also it would be really fucking funny. And I'm actually kind of hoping that it upsets people. You ever heard the expression? It's like, you know, I don't know about expression, but it's basically like upset the right people. Basically, is kind of the direction that I have with that. It's like, yeah, I'm gonna upset people. I'm gonna upset people who like don't know what they're talking about and don't realize that WebP is actually like a really solid format that doesn't really have any major issues. Like, if you want to talk about compression, WebP supports lossless. If you want to talk about inconvenient software support, your software should support it. And I've looked at the API. I literally ingested the entire API in like 5-10 minutes of reading. It is 3 fucking commands. It is 3 lines of code in order to read basic image data and then decode like an image, and that's assuming it's like not an animated image, because that's another thing. WebP supports animated images. That's also really fucking cool. But assuming you're using like normal single frame WebPs, yeah, it's not even 3. It's 2 function calls that you have to make. Wrap that with some error handling, and then write an abstraction layer around it, and you can literally just go like, get WebP texture, push to Vulkan in one fucking line of code, and it would just work. Like, that's so fucking cool. You cannot tell me that I should instead be trying to support like libpng. Like, fuck no, dude. WebP is so goddamn shrimple. I can't wait to actually use it. I will come back to you if I end up eating my words and WebP turns out to be a massive, frightful pain in the ass. But I'm not expecting it to be a massive, frightful pain in the ass. I'm expecting it to be quite nice, actually. I just used it as a lossy format because, like, WebP. I thought web devs love to reduce file size, unless it's actually no. So someone made an aside when they were complaining about WebP. It's like, oh, you know, we're trying to compress images when what we should be doing is like putting less tracking shit in and like bundling a whole bunch of crap in our JavaScript and shit like that. It's like, I hear you, I understand. However, like JavaScript bundlers exist. By virtue of JavaScript bundlers existing, I can tell you right now for a fact that developers do absolutely care about the amount of shit that they're slurping down your line. And they are trying to optimize it, at least to an extent. It's just that, unfortunately, a lot of really nice libraries that have really nice tooling and make development really, really easy are kind of heavy sometimes. And some bundlers also suck. Like, if any of you end up getting into, like, TypeScript web development and use a web bundler, don't use Webpack. Fuck Webpack. I have only ever had poor experiences with Webpack. It is old, it is shit, it is terrible, don't use Webpack. I don't know what the other options are out there. Doesn't matter. Pick one of them. Not Webpack, though. I think Vite uses Rollup under the hood, if I'm not mistaken. I've had no problems with Vite. It's been fine. Use that instead. But yeah, no, web devs are trying to reduce file size, indeed. And WebP, yeah. So specifically, if you're on the web, you're going to get like lossy WebP for sure. But the fact that you can do lossless is like so huge. That was like an amazing design choice from Google when they designed that. Can you add APNG to that too? Specifically APNG, not PNG. That would be amusing. But that would still, if I'm not mistaken, unless it's a different format, you know how like Java has nothing to do with JavaScript kind of deal, would that not still require me to support libpng? Because I was kind of trying to avoid that. JPEG is like the GIF of the modern era just for static images. Lossy compression to the max. I love when technology just works in the modern era. Yeah, so good. I never used a bundler and never will. I hate the JavaScript ecosystem. So, well, I hate the website software ecosystem in its entirety, but especially the JS ecosystem. I have some thoughts on that you may disagree with, and that's okay. I used to be this exact same as you. I would say, wow, I fucking hate the JavaScript ecosystem. It is so dog shit. It is the worst. Here's the thing. Of all of the languages out there, JavaScript has some of the friendliest developer tooling any of us have ever seen. Like, that's just a fact. Rust has really nice developer tooling. I think it's up there, but it's not like JavaScript's. JavaScript will like practically make half the website for you, depending on the framework that you use. Rust, you still do have to do like a decent amount of heavy lifting. I feel like the ecosystem is a bit healthier. I feel like people generally are a little bit more careful in that ecosystem, but I could be wrong. So like JavaScript has its flaws. Do not get me wrong, it has its flaws, but it also has one of the nicest developer ecosystems I've ever seen. And that was actually, I pulled that from another talk that I had watched a while back of someone actually complaining about low-level development toolchains, specifically C, where this guy was like, I like writing C, but I hate building C, basically. Like, if you have ever written C, you know C build tooling fucking blows. It's the worst. And it, like, hasn't progressed at all because most of the people actually doing shit with C, that aside from me, like, I'm just learning, I'm dicking around, I'm not looking to revolutionize the space, but everyone, like, actually writing C, like, there are a bunch of old graybeards that have absolutely zero interest in changing the status quo and might prefer the way things are for the sake of job security, for all I know. That's kind of tinfoil hatty of me, but you get the idea. Loading a stream to immediately get our JavaScript runs. The opposites. I was actually being quite supportive of JavaScript there, to be fair. I lament JavaScript for many other things, but its developer tooling is not one of them, necessarily. But yeah, C tooling fucking blows. JavaScript tooling fucking rules. Rust has a really nice middle ground, but we could definitely do better. And that particular talk that I had watched was essentially going like, yeah, what if we had actually nice, friendly developer tooling for C? How many pullover? That's like the fourth fucking incident I've seen on this travel so far. What the fuck is happening? Anyways. Yeah, C tooling sucks. Like, it's great if you found build tools that work nicely for you. I've personally found my comfort. I like using Clang, because Clang gives me really nice warnings for a lot of, like, silly issues, silly mistakes that I could make in C. So it makes me feel a bit more comfortable. So long as if my warnings are gone, my compiler is happy, I'm usually happy. There might be a memory leak here and there. That's where I have to pull in Valgrind. That kind of sucks, but, like, it's not the end of the world, right? In terms of, like, the actual, like, project build tools, Mason, I've been adoring Mason. I do not like CMake. I don't like its syntax. It's so goddamn verbose. It is, like, I see it as, like, the C# of build tools, I guess, if that makes sense. Apologies if I've, like, offended any C# developers, but if you're, like, an actually avid C# developer, you surely know what I'm talking about. But yeah. We could do a lot better with C build tooling. That I have €120. Holy shit, my drivers are pulling in so much dough. That's crazy. I mean, I hear you, but I raise you this. I once couldn't use NPM or its derivatives for 4 months because it would segfault for no reason. I don't know what to tell you. That is a freak exception to the rule, is the best I can say. I don't know if that's a failing of the tool at that point. Like, if that were a common problem, if a lot of people are complaining, oh, fucking my NPM keeps segfaulting, like, I would go, okay, yeah, it's pretty shit, but that normally doesn't happen. Also, hi, Rin. Hello, welcome back. Yeah, Mason is so good. I have had zero regrets picking up Mason. Oh yeah, I'm full now. Good, good, good. I'm full on fuel. I'm rested. I'm full focused, flourishing in my lane. I have a notification blinking on my watch. That's my gorgeous darling wife, whom I love and adore. Actually, I can finally talk about a thing that she was alluding to during the last stream, I believe. Julia's just had to finally release a patch for a major security vulnerability.
It's time to drink water.
Oh my goodness!
It's time to drink water.
Oh, good, he finishes first. Yeah, she's just had to roll out a patch for a major critical security vulnerability in Sharky, the Fediverse instance software. If you run Sharky, by the way, update immediately. Like, genuinely, right fucking now. It's really bad. I don't have the full extent of the exploits, but it's public knowledge now what files have been changed and whatever. There are a lot of changes in a lot of very uncomfortable places, and it's essentially patching multiple holes to solve some really big fucking problems. So, absolutely patch right fucking now. And disclosure will come later. But that's all that I am at liberty to say, at least. But yeah, my God, Julia has put in, like, she's moved heaven and earth to get those patches out. I saw a lot of support outpouring for her on Fetty when the patches were rolling out. And for everyone who was supportive, thank you. Genuinely thank you. I think she really needed that. It was a rough night. This is not the kind of, like, you think about it, open source, it is thankless work. And if you are then patching a security vulnerability that potentially affects literally thousands of people, like, that is scary shit. And you're trying to coordinate that with the thousands of users of just your fork of the software, nor to mind all of the other forks that are affected, because this is an upstream miskey issue for any of you who are well versed enough in Fetty stuff. It's an upstream miskey issue. It's not Sharky specific. So take from that what you will. If you know, you know. But yeah, it's she has moved heaven and earth in order to get that patch out. I have been there through most of it. It was not fun, and she deserves all of the love and praise in the world for the work she has put in for the Sharky project. I don't know if I could think of anyone else who would be able to do what she does for that project. I think if at this rate, if she were forced into a point where she was just unable to cope with the project anymore, I think that would be the end of it. As it is, I think she had essentially inherited the project from someone who had like broken down and been unable to cope with the project. I don't remember a lot of the backstory on that. But yeah, she's done amazing work. Everyone, if you haven't already, give your thoughts and appreciation to her, especially over this weekend. And yes, indeed, it is time to drink water. You know the deal. If you have water with you, you should drink it. And if you don't have water, you should go get some, because water's good for you. Let me make this turn and then start drinking my water as I go down this hill. Delightful. My water is actually nearly empty. I must have forgotten to fill it. Whoops. I can refill it in a little bit. Next water redeem, maybe. Although I am yapping a lot, so no, it might be before then. Oh joy, it's one of these parking spaces. I love these so much. Okay, no, to be fair, this is one of the easier ones of this nature. That is like so much space. This will be butter. Well, it'd be butter if I was going into the other parking spot, I guess. Good enough. 7 hours remaining. Let's go. I could have taken 2 naps. Fire. Let's do another one. Did I want to do something else? Nah, let's just get more cash. Let's do it. Let's get the heck out of here. Can we... There we go. Perfect. I can't remember who mentioned it, but I think someone had asked me when am I doing Bus Simulator? I think that was actually in the anonymous ask box, now that I think about it. Yeah, someone had asked about Bus Simulator. I've definitely thought about doing Bus Simulator, or a Bus Simulator. The trouble has been mixed between finding a good one and finding a slot to do that, basically. Because, again, I would love to do so, but every time I've looked for a bus simulator, a self-proclaimed bus simulator, they've not been that good. They've either been visually unpolished and really jank, or the reviews have been really unfavorable in some way. Stuff like, oh, the developer killed the game, or, you know, this installment is where their greed got to them, or whatever. And it's possibly people are just like being haters for the sake of it, and the criticism's actually nothing worth taking on board. But, you know, if I'm buying the game, I want to make sure it's a good game, right? So that's a concern. But I would like to do a bus simulator stream. That would be very fun. It's like trucking, except when I crash with real human people inside too. In a way, BeamNG can already give me that experience. The crashes are way funnier too. Trying to see if I can recall, going back on the Vulcan stuff, how much can I recall of the Vulcan process? Because this is the thing. If you understand what the process is, then you can, like, if you know what the process is and you know what the format of, like, you know what Vulcan's naming convention is for its functions and structs and stuff, you can, especially with the help of an LSP or even just grepping header files, you can basically make your own Vulcan docs in your head, which is really, really cool. You start by creating a Vulcan instance, which is like basically your driver context, as I understand it. And then you have to create a surface, which is your kind of handle into the window, and specifically like the panel within the window that you're actually rendering to, you know, the surface. And then you have to enumerate your physical devices to select like a graphics card you want to use. And you can basically like check the properties of each GPU and like grade them for viability. So for example, like an iGPU might be perfectly acceptable for your app and it might be fully compatible, but the dedicated GPU might have more specs in areas that you want. So like I'll have, in my implementation, I have a couple of filters for like various features that must be supported in order for the GPU to be considered, and if they aren't supported, I just don't count the GPU at all. And then as a tiebreaker, basically, I then measure the available graphics devices based on, I think it's their memory or something. There's some fact. I was going off the Vulkan tutorial for this as well, keep in mind. So I'm not doing anything super custom in this case. It's more just specifically how I wrote it, because their guide's also C++, I'm writing in C. But yeah, you have to select your physical device, and then you create a logical device, which is essentially like a Vulkan abstraction wrapper around your graphics card that specifically... Think of it this way. Your Vulkan instance is a context in the driver, so your logical device is your context on the card, on the physical graphics device that you are rendering with. And that contains all sorts of stuff like the specific features you actually want to support when rendering and whatnot. And also contains handles to like all of your different, I don't know, your shader modules, your swap chains, frame buffers, whatever the hell else you're doing. And then you have to create the swap chain, which is basically... Yeah, so swap chain, for those of you who aren't familiar with what vsync actually does, you've probably heard of the setting before. Essentially, all it does is rather than drawing directly to the screen immediately, it buffers it in like a clone of that screen. So there's technically two windows. Like in my game right now that you're looking at, there would be two different views that get rendered to in alternating fashion. So the one that you can't see, we'll say it's the one behind, is the one that is currently having the next frame drawn to it. And then when that frame is finished drawing, in the update loop, we then swap out the frames so that the latest fully rendered frame is then presented to the user, and then the frame that we just pulled back, it then becomes the candidate for writing. And you can that's double buffering, that's VSync, that's pretty standard. You can also do triple buffering, which I think just allows for more wiggle room in terms of like random spikes in frame rate. I think it can help, but generally speaking, for most things, like double buffering, regular VSync is perfectly fine for your use case. But either way, Vulkan doesn't hold hands for you. It doesn't assume what you want to do with your swap chain. So you do have to like build it, and you have to specify, what's the width and height of the frame of the swap chain image, or the swap chain images. What's the how are we rendering to these? What's the pixel format? How many of these images do we have? These are all things you have to take into consideration when you're building your swap chains. And then once you have the swap chain, then you actually start building the graphics pipeline, which defines ahead of time exactly how your renderer is going to work. So that determines color blending. That determines, are you going to fill in your triangles, or are you just going to draw outlines? So you're going to do a wireframe situation. That's where you decide, okay, here's how we actually render to those frames. And then once that's done, and I'm still on that part, so I can speak less confidently on these parts, keep in mind, but I believe from that point it's assemble a command buffer so that you can, buffer all of your commands, then upload in one go in one big buffer, and then the GPU can execute through them really, really fast. You create your command buffer, you load in your draw calls, and then you send it. And then you have a frame. Oh, well, you have to swap your frames first, but then you have a triangle on screen, as an example. And knowing all of that is really, really cool, because in OpenGL, you don't really get that kind of under the hood knowledge. You're told you can draw triangles. You're told you can upload vertices, but you don't really know exactly what's going on with the GPU. But with Vulkan, you get such a deeper idea for what's actually going on with how your CPU is communicating with your GPU, how your GPU is doing memory management, so many cool little things that are available in the render pipeline. I hit the wrong pedal by accident. So if you are looking at building a renderer, I would very highly recommend go for Vulkan, be happy, because the API does appear to be remarkably stable from what I've seen so far. I haven't run into any weird edge cases of oh, this worked in 1.3 but doesn't really work in 1.4. I think they do a pretty good job at trying to keep the API as stable as possible. So there's very little for you to do once you've written your boilerplate code. You can just start uploading vertices and textures and render to them, and that's kind of it, which is really, really cool. I love that shit so much. Oh my goodness. Yeah. I'm also tired. Might be a good time to know. I'm a little sleepy. I was up so late last night, both working on, I did a little bit of work on the renderer, and then I did a little bit of work on college work, and then Julie and I stayed up until God knows what hour talking about this cool game idea that we now both have. Mods, read Arya bedtime story. I'm so fucked. I'm cooked. I got 40 minutes off in this stream. I cannot be falling asleep at the wheel. Hilariously, filling up my water would help this a little bit, because I am both parched and tired. And those don't complement each other well. You'd think I'd be more alert and awake because of how fast I'm driving. You would be mistaken. I'm actually putting a great deal of effort into not slurring my words right now. That's how tired we are. The exhaustion is setting in. And that sucks, because I really wanted to write more Vulcan tonight. Genuinely, like, it's a pastime for me. It's so good. And the fact that it's a pastime that some people actually, like, enjoy watching is so sweet. That is so cool. Thank y'all, everyone who tunes into those streams. I really do appreciate it. And if you don't tune into them, that's perfectly okay, too. Maybe dev isn't your thing, but gaming is. Also very reasonable. Good heavens. Like, I'm staring at this road right now. Oh yeah, I'm in a bit of a predicament right now with my own project, and it's somehow not with the code. Go on. Oh, good grief. It's time to eat some dinner. I would fuck with some dinner right now. My goodness, we have leftover roast dinner from last night. That's gonna be so fucking fire. So I wrote my own license exception for LGPL30. Oh god, I don't like where this is going. But now I'm worried it's not actually good. I mean, if you were really inclined and you're okay sharing the agreements like ahead of time before it goes live, there might be someone in the Discord who's willing to have a look through. Guess who burnt herself on the oven for a third time? I like to imagine in a row. Like, this isn't just like a thing that recurringly happens. It's a thing that you just repeatedly did 3 times 5 minutes ago. That'd be very funny. Oh god, there's still 3 endgame hours left on this drive. Bro, I don't know if I'm gonna make it. I'm so cooked. It's a custom static linking exception, which only applies to platforms like consoles and lockdown operating systems that don't provide file system access. Interesting? Any chance you could tell me more about what that means? Oh, shit. Yep. Chat, I closed my eyes. Don't be fragile. It's packaged food. 1% damage. We can take that. Damn it! That's fucking me right now. That's the shit I'm on. I'm on my honk me shoo 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 right now. Fuck. Bruh. I threw my headphones off. 1 sec. I'm gonna I'll just let Jeebus take the wheel right now while I put my headphones back on. Yeah, that's safe. That's real good. Hold on, there's hair on my eye now. I'm gonna let Jeebus take the wheel while I fix my hair real quick. Alright, we're so back. It's only a little bit of engine damage. It's only 1 check engine light. How bad can it be? I think after this one I'm going to take a quick, like, movement break just to wake my body back up. This ain't looking good for me, bros. Oh no. Basically, if a user can get to the executable's path and modify the files without needing to be on a modified OS, the exception does not apply. I'm gonna have to reread that when I'm on a straighter road. If a user can get the executable's path and modify the files without needing to be on a modified OS, Interesting. Yeah. Okay. I'm not entirely sure why you would need it, but I'm sure it makes sense for your project in one way or another. It's mostly because the specific parts of the LGPL are very hard to abide by on consoles and similar OSs. Oh, okay, so it's LGPL, but you made an exception clause for lockdown systems where you can't open source everything. For the same reason that, like, you know, most console game source code, like, if you're going to get source code, you're going to get the PC ports instead. Ah, you fucker! We're fine. No damage. 'Tis but a scratch. That was such an illegal move. Oh my god. I mean, close enough, yeah. I can't believe I just bailed into a fucking wall earlier. That's so embarrassing. Happens, I guess. 149! I nearly hit 150. That's fucking crazy. Oh god. Ooh, this is rough. This is tricky. I'm feeling the burn again. I'm feeling the drowsiness. It's kicking in. Oh my god, brother! Did you fucking turn into me? Did my cargo take more damage? I swear to god if my cargo took more damage. Okay, no, we're good. It's just the trailer. We can live with this. I did make a post about it on Fetty, but like nobody saw it. Aw, that sucks. Might not be that many legally trained advisors hang around on Fetty. You idiot driver, she says, driving 135 in an 80 zone. It's 80 for trucks. It's 100 for cars. Oh my god. Note to self, Ari, please stop fucking doing, like, late nights. This is unsustainable. This is going to reduce my life expectancy. If not IRL, then in this truck. Then again, I imagine the CW boost welcome copyleft license exception is probably not going to be interesting. Yeah. You're literally falling asleep at the wheel, but IRL. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, there are less safe ways to fall asleep at the wheel, to be fair. All the more reason for me to only take bus transport. I'm responsible enough to not trust myself behind a wheel right now. 14 minutes, we're nearly there. Keel. Lol, see ya. Fucking blowing past everyone. I'm in a 50 zone. That is hilarious. My god, what a fucking turn that was. I will point out my project used to have a second custom exception up until like 2 days ago. I removed it because it was obviously unenforceable. Yeah. Alright, what do we do if you fall asleep live? I'll be real, I don't fucking know. I don't have a contingency plan for this. Supposedly mods are supposed to be able to end a stream. I don't know if we have a mod in chat though. So, I don't know. Get you to Barketer through Sillycord or by phone. So my Discord's in streamer only mode, so I won't see the notification or hear it. And I mean, she could call me on Signal maybe, but my phone is usually on silent, so the vibration would have to wake me up, and that's through the sound of my truck crashing. Also, I think she's still in work meetings at the moment. time zones and whatnot. So please don't bug her about, hey, your girlfriend fell asleep on stream, because she's like literally doing work and getting paid to do it. Imagine having work. Smile. This job economy fucking blows. Also, to clarify my prior message about the second custom exception I mentioned. Uh-huh. Oh, we're 3 minutes there. Ah. Call me when you fall asleep. That's how the song goes, right? It was an exception to make it entirely unprofitable to use when training generative AI models. Obviously enforceable because obviously unenforceable because how would I know if it's used or not? Yeah. It's like saying, oh, don't use our software for like military purposes. It's like, yeah, well, so like the military generally doesn't tell you what they do. So tricky that. There's a piece of software that I've been working on with some friends, and we were actually trying to figure out like what would be a good legal license for like how to not use the software in like abusive, like socially abusive contexts, right? And the ultimate resolution on that was it's not worth it because it's not enforceable. Like it's open source software. People are going to do whatever the fuck they want with this, and if they don't like it, they can fork it, you know? If they don't like our rules, then they can fork it. And to do anything more would be kind of antithetical to open source. So the most we can do is we can have like a code of conduct for contributors, but that's about where it ends. 163, that's mad. That's really cool. Okay, I'm gonna do a quick break so I can get water and move around and hopefully wake myself up because I still have like 20 minutes of driving to do, at least. So yeah, I'll be right back and I'll go grab water. You all should grab water. Go do that. Good idea. If you don't already have water, you should go get some because water's good for you. Be right back. Alright, let's try that again. Oh wow, well timed. The music was literally just about to end. Funny that. Right. My truck, my beautiful truck. I'm probably not going to go to repairs right now. I can do another job before then. Ooh. Ooh, that's a lot of money. High pressure slide valves to Poland. That should take the next 20 minutes. Let's do it. Whoops. Look, at this point I'm in a rush. Let's just go. Oh, I can hear my unhappy engine. Poor girl. Okay. Let me go on a trace and I'll catch up with chat. B, C, D. I can't burp the alphabet, I'm sorry. Alright. The exception basically was just relicenses itself to AGPL, AI must license to AGPL, training data must be published, which is also not going to be enforceable and is also not worth it. Yeah. Also an extra unenforceability reason. It's literally an optional exception. They can just make a fork and remove it. Yeah. Traffic hit by truck right after it. Water. Yeah, real. Oh, good grief. Let me get on in here. Howdy, officers. Right, so let's get in here. Let's get that really high money job over to Poland. I don't think I've been to Poland yet, actually. So that'll be nice. Unlocking some new places. It's funny, I was going through like the stream VODs that I was uploading or whatever, of course. And one of the things that I completely forgot I was going to do was like an around Europe tour, basically. Like I go around the full border and try and visit like every place in Euro Truck Sim. And I'm still doing that in effect, but I'm not doing it in like the round the world situation. I'm kind of just taking longer stride jobs now. That's basically my approach. Are you for real? This way. Oh, Christ. Oh, that's my trailer. That's my trailer. That's my trailer. Get out of there, please. Thank you. We are A-okay with no damages whatsoever. Oh god, there's 24 hours to deliver this. I could totally take a rest stop. No problem. Are you or are you not letting me through? Make up your mind, please. Thank you. I think it'd be funny if cop cars are made aware of quick saving. You end up in like a minor altercation with someone that, oh, I should not have been in that lane. Whoops, my bad. Sorry. You end up in a minor altercation with someone and then you just see like the quick save indicator just above their head. That'd be funny. Right. Hope I don't fall asleep at a red light. That would really suck, wouldn't it? Come on. 15 to 20 more minutes. How bad could it be? One more drive. For old time's sake. Without passing out at the wheel. Or at least if I do, it better be really funny and worth the insane shitload amount of money I'm gonna lose from doing such a thing. Honk shoo, honk shoo. Yeah, pretty much. Right. Ooh, another thing that I've been dabbling in, I'm mostly looking for something to fill up the next couple of minutes. I have been dabbling in a little bit of voice acting stuff. I have been talking about this for fucking ages. Like, I really want to do voice acting shit. And while what I've got at the moment is not necessarily something I would, like, distribute right now, I am still very happy with the product. I think I am quite competent at it for someone who has never done, like, a large voice acting project. I did what's called a script fill, basically. So I found a script online. There's a whole subreddit full of people sharing scripts, and they're like, "Hey, yeah, you can just like voice yourself doing this and upload it to YouTube. Just credit me, the author." And that seems like a very reasonable and amicable way of doing things. So, yeah, the one that I did earlier today is probably not one I would end up releasing necessarily, but it is cool and is a really nice demo for me. Like, it's 12 and a half minutes long or something. It's a pretty solid demo of at least like a particular kind of character voice that I can do. My voice has gotten very versatile since transitioning. Like, vocal training has been very kind to me, and I have been very kind to it. I feel like a lot of it comes down to music, but a lot of it also comes down to just like cool self-confidence and self-expression stuff. Like, I feel more capable of performing certain types of characters I never thought I would be able to before, and then actually attempting it and then seeing how good it is, like, really fills me with even more confidence to embark on such things. Ari Space Girl Melody VA over Gabriel Ultrakill when is I mean, I haven't played Ultrakill, so I couldn't tell you. Maybe. Definitely something I have thought about for a while is I would love to do, like, professional VA work. I feel like I would just blast through it. I feel like I'd have such a good fucking time. Of course, getting into the voice acting business is a lot like just getting into the regular acting business. Like, it's showbiz, and sometimes it's tricky. And even if you're in indie circles, like, you still got to be kind of known as a good VA. And you have to get that notoriety somewhere. So basically, I just got to start, like, uploading shit of me voicing stuff. Something I've genuinely thought of doing, and I've technically already done it a couple times, is voicing... Yeah, have you ever seen those YouTube channels where it's just like they'll just read, like, Tumblr posts and shit that are funny? I would totally do that. That would be pretty solid. Could be... Actually, wow, I could really diversify the kind of shit I upload. So, like, the main channel long-form videos are, like, big stream highlights and stuff. The shorts are, like, cool little, just, like, silly things I throw together and, like, little voice acting bits and whatever. And then the streams are gaming, but then the streams can also be developments. And then I also make music. I do a lot of shit. Kind of harkening back to that again, I do a lot of shit. Sometimes I realize how much shit I do and go, wow, I do a lot of shit. That's not always a blessing. Sometimes it's kind of fucking terrifying. Because, yeah, it's really cool I can do all those things, but I am now constantly feeling responsible for doing all of those things all of the time. You should play Ultrakill. So I have been told. Ultrakill has very little voice-acted lines per character. I see. Gabriel has the most, and he still doesn't have a lot. Interesting. Actually, yeah, he as well. So are we doing like a gender-bend Gabriel? How does that work? It'll give you the experience of being hyperactive, but as an FPS platformer. That is what I have seen. Like, I do understand vaguely enough what Ultrakill is. I have seen it being played. I've just not played it. I don't know exactly if it is my type of game is the main trouble, to be honest. Good heavens. Okay, we're good though. Technically not. Angels don't have gender. Just once a certain angel rank is achieved, they go by EF. Interesting. Wonderful. Loads of money paid out for fuel. How much money have I got now? That does not show me. Whatever. Get a move on! Get a move on! Thank you. I am not making it 6 plus hours on that sleep. That's just not happening. I need to... Something I would like to do as well is just straight up like steal lines from certain characters whose voices I find cool and imitate. Not with any intent to actually voice the characters myself, but just purely for the sake of testing my vocal range and stuff. That could also be very cool. Could be cool to try and voice stuff in like a comic or something. Or a manga. I mean, I can't speak Japanese, but if it's English translated, I could do it. It's literally being called masculine is being seen as closer to the father. Interesting. Which is hilarious when you know Ultra Kill canon. Which reminds me, now that I'm done hunting down event tickets, I should get on my desktop and shoot some demons. Smile. I can't believe we have 2 games for queer people that revolve around beating the shit out of demons. Ultra Kill and Doom. And tell me Doom isn't at least somewhat adopted by queers. Okay, just checked. He, him is for greater angels and above. Fascinating distinction. Oh my goodness. BS. Whoa. Yes, voice acting. That is a thing I want to do, and a thing I have wanted to do for a very long time. So these are very cool developments in that area. The things I do. The many, many things I do. Lesser angels getting permanently put in the they, them, mayhem zone. Crazy. Alright, let's just send it through here. I don't feel like waiting for you, truck. I gotta get a fucking move on. There we go. Angel's literally recreating patriarchy because they have daddy issues. Oh my god. That's crazy. I get it, but also that's a wild way to put it. Oh, struggling on this wheel right now. This is gonna be rough. Only 5.5 in-game hours. We're taking the bird bypass lane. Easy peasy. Now that I have a proper audio setup, I should pop up in voice chat and give you a glimpse of nasty Ultra Kill gameplay. Huge. I mean, I've seen the game being played. I do understand it to an extent. I just haven't played it. Come on, Ari, you can do it. Just ignore every safety advice about driving while drowsy. I'm literally doing it right now. What do you think I'm doing? I made a horrible mistake only getting, like, little sleep last night when I had a trucking stream later that day. Frankly, it's a miracle I operated through college. Didn't expect that. I was locked in. But at least my driver is well rested and well fueled, for what that's worth. Nice. I literally just watched that tick over to 16,000. That's crazy. So what, that's 16 million meters? Good grief. Like, they're so devout to him, so you think he's like the god you hear about in IRL religions, depicted as correct and the right, and the light, right? And the first thing we can find out about him is regretting a bunch of design choice for humans. Who hasn't looked at a project they made and regretted the design, though? Yeah, that's fair. Not a bunch of design choices. One. Singular. Oh, interesting. Hello? Did you move to a different lane and then move back into this lane? That's really weird behavior. Oh, the lock-in requirement is crazy right now. Okay, it's fine. By the time this delivery is done, we will have hit 2 hours. I can end the stream. I can finally be free. I will be in Poland, but I will be free. For what that's worth. Bird Pie Pass Lane. Lamau. I wonder what treachery will be like. I assume that's, do they call them layers? I think they're called layers. The chapters or whatever. Yeah, they're layers. Okay, very well. Oh, treachery is the final layer. I see. Oh, this is rough. It's a straight for a while, but I need to focus. I gotta lock in. Or are gonna cause serious damage to myself and my vehicle and my cargo. And that's gonna lose me a whole bunch of money. Oh, God. My field of vision is kind of... like... I can see fine. But my focus, like the parts of my brain actually interpreting the things that are in my field of clear view, like those brain cells are just not firing at the same speed they were before. Ooh, and you did it again. No falling asleep at the wheel. Come on, girl, let's do it. Oh, God. That's not good. 2.5 hours. 2.5 in-game hours. We could do this. We're going so fucking fast. Semi-relaxed. Good grief. Oh, no! No! What are you doing? No! How bad is it? I added some time, but this is doable. 11% cargo damage. Come on, you can do it. Once you get up to speed, it'll be breezy. Okay. Let's keep her going. I don't think that's how it's supposed to work. Cargo, that car sure does go, just not where it should. What are you delivering again? High pressure slide valves. Or what's left of them. 11%. That's not to mention how much it's going to cost to fix this shit. My god. I was really hoping we'd be able to afford the garage today. We're not going to do it tonight. Nah, bro. It ain't happening. Oh, fuck. Okay, get me into this lane. Uh-oh. That's not good. Please. Yes! Okay. That's probably fine. That's probably okay. You can sponge that, right? Oh, shit. One sec. Just gonna glide here real quick. Yep. Back in the game. Let's do it. Come on. You can take it. You can take it. Honestly, remarkable that the truck still functions after that. Like, I flew over, like, the middle railing. I fell over the edge railing. Like, I fell over fucking everything, dude. That could not have gone worse. Whoops. Yeah, this curve, this is familiar. I've been up here before. Sure. Yeah, we'll just get the engine nice and warmed up here and we shouldn't stall. Or whatever it was that happened. Okay, I need to lock in. I need to lock in so fucking badly. I cannot let this happen a second time. That would be so bad. So very, very bad. Okay. Good grief. Yeah, this is where I got caught last time. Okay, we're back caught up again. Not ramming into the back end of a truck. Giving ample time to turn. In my extremely weak defense, I was not even, my mind did not register the truck that was in front of me. until it was like already far too late, and any like amount of overcorrective turn would have flipped me over anyways. We'll coast for a sec. This fucking truck is so shagged, dude. I'm gonna be down so much fucking money on repairs. Your Honor, in her defense, she's just a girl. Is this woman driving? Is this what it fucking leads up to now? Is that what I'm being fucking brought into? Good grief. We crossing the border here? Is that how this works? Yeah, pretty much. We're crossing the border into Poland. We are now in Poland. Fantastic. One hour 44 left. Just a little further. I'm so sorry about your being in Poland. Hope you get well soon. Between this and France, I swear. I'm not drifting. I'm rubbing my eyes. I actually was. I couldn't see where I was driving. I was really just praying for that one, to be completely honest with you. Okay. Haven't been on Polish roads yet. This ought to be interesting. Get a little slice of Poland now, won't we? Oh boy. This is fine. This is fine. Do I need fuel? Not really. Do I need sleep? Well, IRL, yes, but in-game, not really. Oh. Porter, we're neutral. We'll glide for a sec. And we're back, baby. Yeah! Poland. Oh boy, this truck. This poor truck. I'm so sorry for what I've done to you. I was so irresponsible. Remember when I started these streams and I actually abided by, like, road safety regulations? I mean, I still usually stop at red lights. I just really don't obey speed limits. €52 whole. Interesting. You never obeyed speed limits. Okay, I did go over them a bit, but at least at the time I still got fined for doing so. Now I've just turned off the fines. And now my truck is faster, which means I can not obey speed limits even worse. bit. Our space school committing crimes Fetty would approve. Fucking real. Oh, here we go again. Come on. Let's do it. Yeah, baby. 28 in-game minutes. It's flying by. We're nearly done. Very nearly done. Just a little bit further. We just gotta pull through. Just a little bit further. So close. Okay. I saw the flag. I see it ahead. It's here! I'm nearly there. Home stretch. We're gonna make it. Poznan discovered. Sure. I don't know if that's how you're actually supposed to pronounce it. It's hard to say. I don't know what an accent over that N is significant for. Oh, yield signs are literally just yellow. They got Dorito signs. No, it's not, but that's fine. It's like ni as in ya. So... Oh, hold on. I didn't see the place name. Poznani? Maybe? I wonder, if you get 100% cargo damage, do you immediately fail the shipment or do you get 100% deduction? I would rather not find out right now. Do you get 100% deduction? I like the immediate, like, being able to say authoritatively what happens. Oh, let me guess. I'm just gonna keep the hazards on just in case. You never know. I'm sending it. I'm going. I'm going. I need to go. Right to change the delivery points. At least it should be a pretty easy delivery point, right? Surely. After all I've gone through, they wouldn't give me a terrible delivery point, would they? That'd be so mean. I can do that. Oh, it's wide open. It's wide open. Okay. Easy reverse. Always get that direction wrong. Tolerable. Oh. Oh man. Suboptimal. $50,000 repair cost. Oh, man. It probably fucking will be. There's a lot of damage. Yeah, I get it. Come on. Focus up. I'm gonna fix you. Which means you're not crap out, but until we get to the actual maintenance. That was so close, actually. Oh, nasty sound. Nasty, not good sound. Fascinating. Right. Oh. Oh my god. Okay. 2 minutes away. 2 minutes away. And we'll eat the cost, whatever it is, because I need this truck to be operational. And we did it without another stall. That's delightful. Oh, fuck. Just get into it. Give it to me. Oh, wow. Wait, did service recommendation include just replacing the wheels? They have no wear anymore. Oh my god, it's actually better than it was before. That cost a lot of fucking money, but it's better than it was before. Come on, give me that nice warm sound. Nice and clean. Love to hear it. We're so back. What do you mean my exaggerated prediction was under the total cost? I thought it was a ballpark estimate, not your high bar. That's funny. Yeah. It really be that way, don't it? You have discovered a recruitment agency. Wow. Anyways, yeah. Recruitment agency. Yes. Hello. Don't know what that was about, but sure. Just want to mark this as discovered properly on the map. And then I'm out again. Let's have a look at this. Ooh. Pretty. How much we talking? That seems to be the going rate. Guys, what if we took a loan? What if we took a loan? It would be so cool to like own this free and clear. But like if we took a loan right now, we could probably hire someone to go in there as well. Like right away. I don't know. 5 racing. That's crazy. Okay. Training long distance. Nearly done. 5 rating. Let's go. Let's train you in high value. Vladimir, you're still going. They're making some money. Not as much money as I am, but soon in time, when they're all leveled up to 5 at least, they'll probably be making in total about as much money as I am. And that'll be very exciting. probably be able to pay it off unless you crash again. True. Very, very true. Oh, man. Christ. Most profitable of the last 7 days. Has Chris been more profitable than me? Hold on. Average profit per day. No, I'm way more profitable. The fuck? What's that about? Weird. Okay. Neat. Oh, wait. Can I? Oh no, I can only change my own driver details. I was like, if I could like name these after like subs or something, that'd be really fucking funny. Yeah, tell you what, we'll decide on that next time. For now, we will save. How many saves do I have? A couple. I want to get rid of some of these at some point, but later. Right. Oh, I'm dying, bro. I'm dead. I'm cooked. That was fun though. That was trucking. That was Monday trucking. I was so much more energetic when the stream started. I could feel it. I could really feel it. And then the fatigue started to set in, and you know, that was kind of expected. Right.
It's time to drink water.
Yes!
It's time to drink water.
That's true. It is time to drink water. You know the deal. If you have water with you, you should drink it. And if you don't have water, you should go get some, because water's good for you. I love water. I love water so much. All right. Ooh, yes. So I need to figure out how to like formally apply this to streams, because I'm very used to doing like the whole outro thing. We are going to change things up though, because I want to raid other Twitch streamers. I want to show support to the other lovely, awesome streamers that exist out there. So it would be cool if I could send y'all somewhere cool. And I do follow a decent number of cool folks. So there's some options here. Let me have a gander at what I have available. Whoops. Should not be able to hear these streams. My bad, my bad, my bad. Tell you what, actually, I'll just mute my primary channel. That'll fix it. Okay, okay. Just checking through the options. Got a couple streamers here. I want to pick one out in particular. Obviously, I can't raid multiple people at a time. That doesn't really work. How about a cool artist? Art stream? How do you guys feel about hopping out on an art stream for fun? That could be fun. That could be a vibe. That was the most enthusiastic yes I've ever heard. Yeah, we're gonna drop y'all in an art stream from Sentipur. Very cool cat artist. So I think y'all will enjoy this fine artist. Let me set this up properly. Can you tell I'm not used to doing this? It's out of flow, so I have to get used to it. But I will, and it's gonna be great. It's gonna be good. Yeah, it's raiding time, everyone. Get ready to raid your shits. And to all of y'all and the VOD watchers, I hope you have a lovely rest of your morning, afternoon, or evening, wherever it is you hail from. And that is all for me for tonight. All of you in live chat, hope you enjoy the next stream I'm about to pawn you off to. And everyone be good, be kind, be lovely. And I will see you all next time. Bye-bye!